Well, hello, bronies and Pegasisters. Welcome back to the Pony Talk Podcast, guys. We are here with episode 13, and I am here joined by the wonderful Chris, guys. Say hello to every pony.
What's up?
And you, of course, know me as Dashy101, guys. It is great to be back. Yeah. Guys, this is our mid-season finale, so literally right after this, we go on that very annoying hiatus. But on the plus side, guys, this was actually a pretty good way to end off the mid-season finale. I really liked it. Chris, what did you think?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I liked it.
Yeah. I was kind of wondering, again, how I thought this was going to kind of go together. Like, would the main six actually run into, Queen Chrysalis, and how would that play off? Kind of similar to what we saw when Thorax had to try getting his brother with it. You remember that episode? I forgot what that episode was called. Do you remember?
What was it? I think it was to change a changeling.
There you go, to change the changeling. Yeah. And I thought it was gonna be something kind of like that with Chrysalis and trying to pretend that she's going to join, but no. They did a very good thing right here, and it definitely got me actually all right, that actually was a good way of ending it off. Kind of left us on a cliffhanger, but that's all right. We will get the rest of the season.
How is that even? I don't know I don't get what the cliffhanger was.
Kind of the main six had no idea of, all the stuff that happened. They didn't know that was the phonies.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you saw Chrysalis fly off, which we will get into that, but I mean, most of us here already watched the episode. Were you gonna say something?
No.
Oh, okay. But again, guys, we have episode 13, The Mean Six. So that is the title, reference to the main six, but the mean versions of them. But we start off with, and I am actually going to put in my little thing here because this was shown, this clip right here in the beginning of this episode. We have the main six at the School of Friendship, wondering where this photographer pony is, and she comes in rushing in like, sorry, I'm late, just please, I didn't mean to. And then Starlight kind of steps in and says, oh, you're fine, kind of gives her the stink eye, says, no, Princess, and she talks to Princess. But this part of the episode in the beginning was actually a little bit of a spoiler that some of us bronies and Pegasisters out there have seen. But, well, the drawn version, the very rough...
yeah.
Yeah. So...
The animatic though.
There you go. That's the word for it. But we see her running off with, well, she's like, ooh, there's a couple of hairs you guys have. Let me get those for you. She pulls off hairs. She's like, all right, I have to get all those hairs out. Now let's actually take good pictures. Takes one picture for each. Rainbow's was a little messed up, but that's all right. And she's like, okay, well, thank you, and I will see you guys later. Runs off, and she has this evil grin, which I don't think they have, who this, pony she was trying to be, Queen Chrysalis. I don't think that, she had a name or anything. It just was like, she was there. But anyway, over here with a very evil smile, looking at the pictures and pieces of hair, and she is scheming of talking amongst herself, saying, ooh, this is gonna be great. Now I have everything I need. And this is where she puts her own little ritual together. We see 6 trees. In the trees, yeah, the actual main portion of the trees, we see little edged cutie marks for the main 6, along with their picture and a piece of their hair, or mane, whatever, mane or tail. And this is supposedly a Chrysalis ritual that she creates these clone versions, because she no longer has changelings to do the dirty work. So, yeah. Now, she has these minions, also known as the Mean Six, of course. And now they are basically in charge of getting the elements, stealing the elements, and, of course, all control over Equestria. That is what Chrysalis's main intention is. Every villain in the show's main intention is. But in the meantime, we have the main 6 also going into the Everfree, which I forgot we are stationed in the Everfree during mostly this episode. But while the main 6 are traveling, they kind of talk, saying, like, ooh, this is really exciting. Twilight has this all planned out for us. We're going to go camping. There's a word that she uses. What does she call the little camp out that day? I forget what they called it. Yeah, I'm actually not sure what they Twilight actually calls it. But I do know this. We have the main 6, you know, talking amongst themselves, and we have Rainbow Dash questioning. This was kind of funny. She's like, Rarity, why are you making Applejack carry all your stuff? And Rarity's like, oh, darling. She's like, don't even get me started on that. This is not my stuff. That's Applejack's stuff. I actually packed a little thing, a little supply of stuff, which she did. She was honest about that. And Applejack's like, well, this isn't really for me too. Believe it or not, this is Starlight's first camping trip. And, you know, getting into Starlight, she did not look enthusiastic about camping or anything. She does not like the point of nature or anything like that. She'd rather stay home and drink tea, do all that. She's like, just as much as nature is, you could do things better at home, which that can be negotiable. I personally like the outdoors. Chris, do you like the outdoors?
Well, I'm not much of a camper person. I just don't like it.
Well, that's fine too. Not all of us are outdoors people. Some of us are, some of us aren't, and that's perfectly fine. But sometimes it's nice to go outside a couple of times and get some fresh air. It definitely refreshes with me. But now, I forget. One of them asked Twilight, where are we supposedly going? And Twilight says, we got a little campsite set up, and how about we have a little setup at, well, the Tree of Harmony, where the elements are, where basically we came together. And, everyone, or every pony I should say in this case, are extremely excited about this little gathering, so they continue their journey. Well, now, Chrysalis, on the other hand, has her evil little minions, and they are naughty, causing chaos. But this time, Chrysalis says that we need to find these elements. The Mean Six say, we do not know where these elements are. We would love to, and then take control, but we don't. So then they decide to all split up, which this is where it gets really chaotic, as we saw. And Twilight says, well, you know what? I will go search for them myself, and I'll also look around seeing if I can find anything. And Chris likes the idea and says, you know what? You go. That sounds like a great idea. And so now the Mean Six are spread all over the Everfree, and at this point too, the Main Six also spread out to go looking for something, I think. Or I think they were looking for Pinkie Pie at the point. I don't know. But I know that, well, this is where the chaos again starts up. We have Rainbow Dash and Applejack going their ways. We have Starlight and Rarity together. Twilight is by herself, and then Fluttershy, I think she went by herself, and Pinkie Pie is gone off somewhere looking for something. But in this case, we see the Main Six, they run into the Mean Six. Either their friends that they're with, that they got split up with, or something else, including Rainbow Dash. Rainbow Dash was basically, or the mean version of her. I know this is going to get really confusing for you guys, but I'm trying my best. Rainbow Dash really doesn't care. The mean version of her, she's just like, yeah, whatever. I'm going to just do this all by myself, and I'll just have total control. I don't need the others. So, yeah. But we have, for an example, we have Fluttershy. She goes up to the animals or the creatures, and her mean self kind of makes a disturbance, like, ooh, you can't fly and get back to your nest. Good. And she just makes all the woodland creatures very upset and very discouraged. And then when real Fluttershy, as we know and love, comes, the creatures are extremely mad at her because they think that's what she said. But, of course not. So stuff like that, and this wraps all around the mid-section of this episode, guys. And I don't know, it was really like crazy and confusing. I was kind of wondering in this point, I don't know if you were too, Chris, but in this point, I kind of thought maybe the Main Six would eventually run all together into the Mean Six and be like, wait, what? Duplicates? Or something like that, but that did not happen. Yeah. It's just interesting how they did it. I don't know. Some reason that got me hyped for this episode. But that was not the case, and then I believe it was Rarity, or no, it was Applejack, Real Rarity, and Starlight, because Starlight was the only one who did not have a clone of herself. But when Bad Applejack finds out, oh, you're that Starlight person, or that Starlight pony that Chrysalis has been talking about, you know what, come with me. And of course she makes fibs and lies, because this is her evil version. And then she comes clean with her, says, you need to get rid of all that stuff. You look hilarious, ecstatic in that stuff. And Starlight, of course, gets offended. And this creates a huge feud between the Main Six, which starts leading up to a very crazy breaking point, guys. But on the other side, the Mean Six are all together, and Chrysalis finds Twilight, which Twilight, evil Twilight, because she ran into Pinkie Pie, tells her every single thing, every little detail, where the elements are located, where the tree is, and it's not good, because they end up going over there, and also destroying basically everything they see that is in front of the Tree of Harmony. As we see, their campsite is completely demolished and flat, but that comes later into the episode. Yeah, but we have the Main Six now trying to get everyone together, and they're like, hey, let's stop fighting. We're friends here. I mean, come on, we dealt with this stuff before. You know, whatever any pony said, let's just get through this and let's just have a good night. And this is where Twilight's like, wait, you still want to have the retreat? And they're like, absolutely, Twilight. Retreat, that's what it was. Okay. Now it pops in my head. So they all get along and stuff, and meanwhile we have the Mean Six on their way to the campsite as well. As I said, they flattened out their campsite, and we have the evil Rarity literally taking everything, because I guess everything in her sight is glorious, even a piece of stick. Which is kind of funny. I kind of liked the little naughty Rarity. She was quite a character herself. But this is where I started getting interesting, and now I know that the elements have sort of a... Well, I mean, at the same time, the elements kind of have sort of a security system with them. They can detect, that these are frauds. So yeah, I was kind of worried as we saw the Mean Six approach this tree of harmony. We saw the elements start turning black and all this, which obviously is not good. I literally thought something else would have been bad, or they would have literally like corrupted the tree or something. I don't know. There could have been a million possibilities what it could have been. But that was not the case. The tree ends up grabbing the phonies of the Main Six, these clones, and basically turns them back into plain old-fashioned wood, same way they were created. And now Chrysalis's plans are foiled, and she is very upset by this. And then she goes off and flies off, and meanwhile, back the Main Six now arrive at the campsite, completely destroyed and demolished, and they're like, seriously? And then Pinkie Pie makes the quote-unquote scene of, wow, this day has just been absolutely awful. And then this is where everyone laughs because, yeah, it's pretty true. It's going absolutely awful for them. But in that scene, and I don't know if you guys saw this, how I know Chrysalis flew off was we saw the Main Six laughing, and in the moonlight you could see a pony coming out of the darkness and flying into the moon, which was Chrysalis. I don't know if you caught that. Chris, did you see that?
What? See Chrysalis in the moon?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see.
Yeah.
I see it. Yes. Yeah, I saw her.
Yeah, she flew into the distance, and we saw her flying towards the moon. Basically, the Main Six had no idea that there were at all any clones of them, and Chrysalis was behind this. They thought this was actually the Main Six, getting lost and everything kabobbly. So yeah, but it kind of was a neat way how they pieced this all together in this episode, guys. Yeah, again, they left it off with the cliffhanger, but again, we are going to come back to the season when it does. But other than that, Chris, what did you think about this episode? You haven't talked too much.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty good. I like it.
Now, during the point when the Mean Six were split up, and we also had the Main Six, what were your intentions? What were you thinking in this point?
And I thought the Main Six were gonna run into their evil versions of themselves.
Mm-hmm. Now, did you think they would discover that hey, you're not actually Applejack, or you're not actually Rarity? Even though they thought, oh, maybe Rarity stepped in some poison joke or something like that. But, which is pretty reasonable. Yeah, and of course, I mean, again, being in the Everfree 2, anything can happen. Literally. It is a dangerous forest. You don't really want to go in the, Everfree forest alone. Anything could happen. So, yeah. But it was nice, the Main Six got back together. The elements knew that, hey, these were frauds of the actual Main Six, and then turned them literally back into pieces of wood.
That's what I was thinking. The tree that was making it good. I like how we see what the tree can also do.
And that's what I'm trying to get to. So now we know that the elements will react in a different way. They'll turn somewhat black, or they might turn something others different colors. Who knows? Red. I don't know. But they will kind of grab on to whatever that phony of the main 6 are, and they'll sort of kind of have a backlash reaction. So yeah, but that was a new thing. So yeah, but that was a pretty good mid-season finale right there, guys.
But it still doesn't matter. I don't think it still does not think we've seen the last of Chrysalis, but I still don't think we've seen the last of her again.
Oh, I am absolutely sure. Guys, if you agree with me, give this video a like if you do not think Chrysalis will ever get reformed, because personally I am in that train. I could be wrong. We could all be wrong, but honestly, personally, I do not want to see this character get reformed.
Yeah, me too. I just don't want that to happen because I want her to stay evil and everyone.
I like Chrysalis the way she is.
Yeah, because even if they do make her reform, that would be pretty weirdish.
It would be, and plus, honestly, I don't know what Chrysalis would really do in this case. I mean, Thorax technically already has control of the Hive.
The changelings.
Yeah. I don't know if it's really called the Hive anymore, but it might be. And then also he has his brother for defense, so there you go. Yeah. So honestly, I don't know where she would fit in, but you know, if they reform her, they'll have somewhere she'll fit in. But this is one of those villains, guys, I find very unlikely that they will ever reform. Same goes with Tirek. Yep.
Tirek and King Sombra, I do know he's truly dead.
He could be. I think so too.
But
maybe
there's a way, or maybe
they could have a chain reaction to where he comes back in an episode. I don't know.
If they find a way to bring him back to life, if he finds a way to come back to life.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it could be anything. I mean, maybe maybe a piece of him or something like that ends up coming back. And then this goes along with the movie, but another character that I'm pretty sure will not come back is
the Storm King.
Yeah, the Storm King is out of the question, guys. Storm King, we saw what happened.
He's definitely out of there.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Yes.
Yeah, got turned into stone and then, got broken into pieces. Luckily, that wasn't with Discord. That would really suck. But, yeah. Anyway, guys, I don't really have too much else to say with this mid-season finale, guys. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. It was nice seeing the main 6 in their naughty versions, even though they're the phonies. I might rewatch this episode, I enjoyed it that much. And I feel like I missed a couple of little details. If I missed anything, guys, let me know down in the comments below. I'll be more than happy to check those out for you guys. And, yeah, so, as this is the mid-season finale, guys, we will not be back until, well, when Season 8 returns. So I'm pretty sure the podcast will not be around during summertime. But don't worry, guys, I got you covered. We got a lot of upcoming events. It'll be fine. But with that being said, Pony Talk will return when Season 8 returns back on the air, guys. Chris, do you have any final comments? Nope. Alrighty then. Well, thank you so much, man, for joining this podcast. It really means a lot to me. And, yeah. Should be really awesome to come back next time. And if you guys out there want to sign up before we return back with Season 8, you want to get the hype going even more, then leave it down in the comments below saying you want to come back when Season 8 returns. I was having a brain fart there for a second. But I am tired, guys. Thank you all so much for watching this Pony Talk podcast. And as always, please like, share, favorite, and don't forget to subscribe, guys. And this is the mid-finale of Season 8. We will see you when the Pony Talk Podcast returns, guys. Peace out. Bye, every pony!